So Craftlight Media.
Yeah.
In 5 years or so, when you talk about the future, where do you see yourself in photography, in video?
My 5-year plan, this is like an elevator advertisement. So essentially, I'm just doing an elevator pitch. 5 years from now, I see Craftlight Media being a household name.
Okay.
When people would be speaking about the likes of Peter McKinnon, they'll be speaking about Matiha Puja, the international greats.
Yeah.
They'll also mention Craftlight Media there.
Sure.
Again, I'm also trying to like venture into something different also in terms of my photography channel, my videography channel.
Yeah.
And that is actually Craftlight Media specifically. It was meant to be covering mostly tutorials about videos and how to like do your photography and everything.
Yeah.
But I want to go into a more personal way of expressing myself in video.
Yeah.
So I want to like have like sub channels where I get to showcase other people in the channel. I get to like do a couple of vlogs. I get to like have.
So it will be a learning platform
Exactly.
for a lot of people.
Yeah,
I think I'd also say that before I actually buy any gear, I think you're a witness.
Yeah.
Before I actually buy any gear at all, I refer to this guy. So that be it how good or bad the advice is, I actually determine what I buy from what we've discussed and some of the reviews that we have. So I believe it's good that you be able to go check out his channel, be able to check out his links and what he's doing, so that you can learn. If you want to buy something, I believe anything relating to photography and video, you can be able to have something about it and people can be able to learn.
For sure. Good. And guys can also hit me up in my DMs and I just reply them.
Yes. So follow him on Instagram, follow him on Twitter, follow him on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's like, share, subscribe.
Exactly.
Yes. You can follow me
in the description below.
You can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Facebook. That's liking my page on Facebook. On Twitter, follow me, Muraguri _Peter. I think I'm going to post all my links and social media links. You can be able to follow me there. I'm everywhere. Unlike some people. But I'm everywhere. I don't want to get into that conversation. He knows what he's speaking of. Actually, look at the link that is missing.
There's something missing. Join the dots.
Okay.
Yeah, so Pete, a question.
Yes.
In this day and age, and we're seeing like the phone game is really coming up.
Yes.
iPhone 12, man, the camera.
Yes.
You yourself
Still
using
an improved iPhone 5, but yeah,
more or less. Yourself, you're using a Huawei, and we are seeing like the camera game in the phone business is actually like becoming something which is really big.
True.
So, is there a future for the phone business in terms of photography and videography?
I believe yes, there is. For a long time, I actually had to buy a phone based on the camera specs, the battery and camera specs, and how much storage and how fast it would be. So you end up there spending maybe 100 or so K on a phone, would be basically because of the kind of shots and the kind of videos that you're going to do. And almost all my earlier videos and photography were all done by phone. And most people don't actually believe that up to now. When I tell them this was shot on a phone, they're like, how? Because you can actually do 4K shots on a phone and people wonder how is that possible. You're doing 4K video on a phone and thinking, how does that even work? So I believe we are heading there. At the same time, DSLRs are moving to mirrorless. So things are becoming smaller. You're getting big stuff being made into smaller
chunks. Thank you. Thank you. Talking about small things, thank you.
Size does matter.
Size does matter.
It does matter. So I believe mobile phone photography should be in a category on its own. And then you can have your DSLRs and mirrorless cameras being in a category on their own.
For sure.
For sure. Because even at times you'll be out there, maybe you haven't carried your gear, you don't even have time to. I've taken out my camera before I fix the lens, or even if the lens is fixed, I chuck the cap off. I'm trying to check the settings, and the moment is gone.
Exactly.
Especially when I'm not trying to say I was planning for a shoot. I'm out there, I'm just walking, or I'm just driving somewhere. There's no time to do that. But with my phone, I just chuck and
click it.
And I have the footage and I have the shot.
And the AI system does every other thing.
It does everything else. So actually, if you're starting out on photography and video, you have to start with your phone.
I'm not sure if I'd agree with you 100% on that. Yeah, I'm saying like, well, there's that future, there's that nexus where the phone business is actually becoming like a big thing. We even saw Samsung with their new flagship phone, an 8K camera. You can imagine.
Yes, true. Even Xiaomi have an 108 megapixel camera. So I'm thinking, yes, as you speak on that, it still can't replace the body cameras that
exactly.
we have. Exactly. When you talk of not just even APS-C crop cameras, the full frames and the kind of thing they can do.
They do, exactly.
There's a very big difference between them and the APS-C. What about a phone?
Crazy,
because you cannot
stuff.
tell me taking a photo on a 1DX Mark III would compare to iPhone 20 and whenever it comes out.
Or a red Komodo.
Yes.
Like,
it will never compare.
Exactly.
Yes. Because these are cameras that you can be able to take very fast moving subjects like the sports and people are taking a shot or even just a rally car passing and you freeze it and it's clear, pinpoint, you can even see the drive and everything. And the 1DX I think is right now 600K. I actually don't even want to think about or dream about that one. And then the camera is so huge, I don't want to become a bodybuilder.
So it's just about finding a middle ground on it.
Yes, so a 1DX Mark III, I think that's the best camera to date when you talk about DSLR for Canon. For both video and photography. Most people use them for photography. There's rumor there'll be an R9, which will be the mirrorless for the
mirrorless version of that one,
Yes, and the R7 will be the mirrorless for the 5D Mark IV. So
things are just coming, bubbling under.
Yes. So I think there is game for the phone market when you talk of photography and video, but it's in its own category.
It is in the,
there's a certain level you get where they're worlds apart.
Exactly.
But when you talk of the normal day-to-day and I just need something that can actually be seen by someone and it's clear and nice, take a phone. The phone is easy because you just take out and snap.
Exactly. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. I like that.
Yes, it's a Nikon. I still get lost. I haven't forgotten
Don't
about
hate on my camera. Don't hate on my camera.
So the reason we made this video this week is the main question of, does size really matter? Does it or does it not? You can post maybe a comment what you think about when you talk about whether size matters or not. But I'd like to ask Eston, with his Nikon, does size really matter?
Size does really matter when it comes to gear, when it comes to your photography and videography business. We've been talking here about muscles a lot. And the kind of bodybuilding work that you're doing.
Yes, there's a difference I can notice.
Exactly. And when you even seeing that the market is actually shifting from DSLRs to mirrorless, it actually shows that there is a lot of advantage towards reducing or shrinking the size of devices. When you look at all the more expensive gear that are there, all the Sony gear, basically for that matter, the lighter it is, the more expensive it becomes. And I feel that there's a nexus that they get to, where of course when it becomes also really small, it also becomes a bit cumbersome. So size matters as long as the gear is good. So for example,
so size and quality go hand in hand.
Of course. It should not be reducing the size and reducing the quality. The quality should stay the same, but the size should get smaller.
So you're still losing kidneys, in other words.
Back to the Weebill. I'll stick to the Weebill for now.
DJI, you can actually just donate a run into this guy and he just completes his game. And
DJI guys. Simping for you guys since 92.
Yes, I think when we talk about size, I think last week I had told you I needed a big cam, and I remember we talked about the M50. And I ended up trying to actually hold that thing in my hands. And
it was too.
Okay, I have big hands. I have big, fat, saucy fingers and all. And then I'm so used to the 90D that's big and all that, so it fits nice in my hand. But with the M50,
you're covering it.
It was so small that I actually have to look at a button when I'm pressing it because I'm afraid I'm going to press the next button. So I think it didn't work for me. It was too small.
Yeah.
I also tried to check the M6 Mark II, which is actually, I think, the mirrorless version of the 90D. And still the size, I still wasn't that comfortable. But when you look at the R series for Canon, even though they're mirrorless, they still
are bulky.
They're still that handy. It's just like the Nikon D53. Small, tiny. Tiny, lightweight.
That camera.
No, it is. And sometimes there's an advantage to that. Because mobility and how easy it is to carry your gear. Because whenever I'm going out with the 90D, I actually have to carry 2 lenses. My Sigma and the zoom 70 to 200. Remember, the 70 to 200 is actually heavier.
Heavy. That thing is
than my body.
Is heavy.
You can try and imagine that. And then now add that, and then I have all those in a bag.
You can imagine.
Yeah. So the weight really becomes an issue. Yes, it performs, but then it's really big. It's
exactly. Yeah. So it should be small, but it gets to a point where it's just small to be good enough.
Yes, it's size matters in terms of being small, good enough, but quality. At the same time, when we speak about that, when you speak about size, if you compare his hands and mine, I have huge hands. This is my hand. This is saucy fingers. For me, small sizes don't work. I actually struggle with the Osmo sometimes. I saw last time you trying to hold it, and I tried doing that. And I'm thinking this thing will fall off because I just have to hold it in a way. So I believe also it depends with the kind of photography and video you do, the videography you do, when you talk of how you handle your camera. I know people have different
ways of like doing the stuff and everything.
I'd like to hold my 90D sometimes even with one hand when I'm taking
and that's long like
taking the portrait, and I'm doing it with one hand. It's really easy. With a small camera, I don't know whether I'll hold it like this or how would I,
or at least pincers. You're like, okay, let me hold this thing.
Yes.
Or tongs or something.
Sometimes and I think one thing the 90D has taught me, because sometimes it acts as a mirrorless, because you can even do a completely silent electronic shutter, no sound. So you can know when you're taking photos. And it loves the live view. It really hates the OVF. I don't know why. That's the optical viewfinder when you see somebody do this. And the live view is just
doing it like a pro, the way I always do it.
Yes. Yes, but it's still a Nikon.
Nikon all the way.
Yeah, so I think we've agreed that size really matters, but size goes hand in hand with quality. And at the same time, size goes hand in hand in how you do your photography and how you handle your gear. So that depends on how you build.
Yes, I think at the end of the day, it depends with the person person behind the camera. For me, the smaller it is, the easier for me to like move around with it. For you, you also need to consider, does it really fit in your hands well, and how comfortable are you using the device. So I think it is very subjective. But again, quality should always be king for this.
Quality is king. I think quality is king. But
it is. we can debate about it after this.
Really? Because we had this conversation, I think, a while back. Where you can actually have a crappy camera that you can give to a professional.
And they still do wonders.
And they still outdo you.
You with your professional.
You with your professional camera. And I believe at one point we said it's the idiot behind the camera that matters more, especially when it comes to composition and how he's going to handle his gear. The idiot behind the camera matters more than the camera and the gear itself. It's always
like so many. I've seen so much out here. Like I remember there's this lady who was doing a photo. And she had like this amazing Sony camera. She was just like taking random photos of things, and she'd go to the street and like take photos of cars passing. And I was like, I was really curious to just go and like ask her like what she's taking photos of. And I'd look at the image that she's taken. Everything is blurry, everything is shaky, and you're like, what? Bless your soul, madam. I'll see you in another time.
With the German machine, yeah?
With the German machine, it's like driving and hitting everything on the road.
True. So I think you as a photographer, you as a videographer, you matter more. You're 90% of whatever comes out.
Exactly.
And 10% is your gear and equipment.
Yeah.
So it's how you compose your shots that matter more.
Exactly.
So as we said, the idiot behind
the cam.
The cam. Don't worry about that. So it's a reason why we say that.
For sure, for sure.
We are selling kidneys to be here. That's idiocy.
The life we have to live.
Yes. So we are still here with Craft Like Media, still here with Eston. We are having that discussion. I think it's going to be part A and B or C.
Might go 3 parts.
Yeah, we don't want to bore you. And as you've heard, we've ran out of organs to sell. These are very, very expensive sort of venture.
Exactly, we are basically non-existent.
Yes, so we are on YouTube. I'm on YouTube, he's on YouTube. We've been doing YouTube, I think, for a while now.
Yeah.
So I want to ask, YouTube in Kenya, deal or no deal?
YouTube in Kenya, actually, there is a lot of potential there.
Yeah.
I believe that it's still like an emerging market, especially because not so many people have like gone so much into that field.
Yeah.
I think with COVID though, there was a bit of a peak when it came to YouTube, but it kind of died down.
Yeah.
And I feel that the next few months to the next few years, there might be some bit of growth, especially now that there are people who are actually doing like really big things and taking risks in YouTube.
Yeah.
So there is a very big market there.
Yeah.
Yes, I think again for the Kenyan YouTuber, when you're doing your content, also try as much as possible to consider people who are outside. Outside the country, because
I actually realized that I do have a lot of people watching videos from Asia, from Europe.
Exactly, yeah.
Not just North America, even South America.
Yeah,
and I was really shocked when I tried to check the analytics, and I'm thinking, what? There are people watching this.
You can imagine that.
Yeah, so always make a video, think not just having Kenya's target market.
Exactly.
Other targets out there. But during COVID, I did a video, or tried to do a video. But I still think I will post a link somewhere. I did a video where I think this would be the best hobby you'd have maybe for your teen. Your teenager there, you're trying to, or they're just out of school or college, and you're trying to keep them occupied on something. They can give you a life story there. All you need is just to give them a camera or a phone with a camera,
and they just record themselves.
And they can be able to record themselves.
Watch out for OnlyFans.
Yes.
That said.
But when I talk about that, I'm not talking about the downside of TikTok videos.
Yeah.
They're talking on something constructive, and you can be able to.
For sure.
So if you ask me, YouTube in Kenya, deal or no deal, I think it's a deal.
It is a deal. It is a deal.
It really does depend on the kind of content you have. I know there are people, these jokers on YouTube, or let me know.
The unmentionables. We'll just see the unmentionables.
I'm going to edit out that name. Not jokers. The comedians, the comedians, I think that we have in Kenya have really touched the market. I see them doing.
They're really doing a lot.
They're doing a lot. They have followers up to 1 million or so. Their views for videos they post get a lot of traction. So I believe we are getting there. Music artists, that's a different case. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about people who want to give you a story. I want to talk about people who are not just, this is not a talent. I'm giving you my story. I'm just talking. Yes. Yeah, if you want to see my talent, watch my videos and see my editing and see my photos, see my the compositions that I do.
Exactly.
Yeah, but actually talking to you and standing here, seated here, just talking to you, that's me giving my story.
For sure.
I didn't go to school for that. I'm an engineer.
Both of us are engineers.
Oh yeah, he's also an engineer.
Both of us are engineers.
I'm retiring soon. I want to think about photography only.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the math and physics.
There's something that you've mentioned about at least engaging the young people when it comes to this art, and I actually think that it is something that can really employ a lot of young people. True. Yeah, because we realize that there are so many people, like sometimes I drive in the streets and I see people just doing stuff, and we're like, this guy has like talent, and it would be good if like this person had a platform. That's when you remember that you have a YouTube channel, you didn't carry your camera, you'd pass by the next time and that person is not there. So I believe that when everyone is given like an opportunity to like go and share their skill, their talent on this kind of platform, they're able to like make a name for themselves. Look at the likes of Justin Bieber, who was basically just found on YouTube. He was just like doing a video and he was just singing. Some recording producer had him somewhere, and the rest was history.
You're talking of Justin
Aziad himself. Herself.
She actually got traction on social media. Now
exactly.
She's really doing well.
Yeah.
I think I've seen even my niece doing Insta videos on hair. I think I'm going to post something so that you can be able to see.
Yeah.
She's somewhere in campus. I think I'm going to edit that out. I don't know. But she's in school and she's doing really nice hair videos. And I think the way you say it, when we talk about people finding something to do or employment or even just giving a story, I think YouTube is an answer to a lot of people. It's only that people are not engaging so much into it. I've seen Mama Mbogas, I've seen, Chapati Mistress on...
I've heard of her.
Yeah, she does really nice videos. She's been quiet for a while, but she does very nice videos on chapatis, and then she makes them, and she started getting orders of doing chapatis and all that.
Ah, interesting. Yeah.
So I believe social media, not just YouTube, is the way to.
It can be a really good platform.
Yes. But giving your life story, there's YouTube, and there's a learning platform. Remember?
Yeah. YouTube is the new Wikipedia, apparently. That's what I learned.
True, because actually most people, even myself, I'm always on YouTube. If I'm bored and I want to watch something, I'd rather watch YouTube than do a movie. I'll watch the science things, the astronomy things, I'll watch things about cars, I'll watch things about dinosaurs, I'll watch funny stuff, I'll watch other people's YouTube videos also. So
even when you talk about engineering, when I was in campus, and you'd be like a day to the exam, and you need to like go through some lessons that you've not really understood. You just go to YouTube and look for Indians, like those Indian teachers. So YouTube is like a very big platform that can be used to like do a lot.
It is. So, and for people who think this is not it, I believe in 2019, the highest paid YouTuber was a 7-year-old who was doing things about toys and stuff like that. And I think he was paid out $2 million for that year in total by Google. That's 200 M in a year. That's a 7-year-old. So I believe even the YouTubers we have here in Kenya, some are being paid, not to those levels, but I believe
some good amount of money.
Some good amount of money that can be able to be used. So I think when you talk about YouTube in Kenya, deal or no deal, it's a deal.
It is a deal. Try to find your voice, try to make your brand, and indeed YouTube will work for you.
And the more videos you do, the more you talk, the more you're comfortable in front of the camera, the better you become.
Yeah, it takes practice.
It takes practice. It's the way you're doing it and the way how you keep doing it. You get better and better.
Exactly.
So I believe even your first videos are very different from later videos.
Let's not even talk about our first videos, which never saw the light of day on YouTube. They're just somewhere stored somewhere in the cloud, and I always just look at them and I'm like, what was I even thinking? But right now I'm saying that we're actually going somewhere with our channel.
Okay, so I want to sign off, and I want to thank everyone that's been watching. Thank you for everyone that's been subscribing. I want you to like, share. Make sure you share, make sure you subscribe, get others to subscribe, listen to what we have to actually teach you about what we do. If you want to maybe ask us to talk about something different, maybe you can comment. You can also reach us on our social media platforms, and we can have something maybe to talk about any of the topics that you
For sure.
We did talk about maybe we'll try gauging and talking about people and their photos on Instagram and Twitter. And
that will be so awesome.
We may even go to TikTok and see whatever. We'll just pick any and we'll talk about them and see where they went wrong, what they can do right.
And I think we'll be easy on them. We won't roast them that much.
I don't like lying, so I'll keep quiet. So essentially, I think that will be an upcoming video. Make sure you also watch part B of the video that we're making. Since it's long, we're going to make it into 2 parts so that you can be able to have a break and not snooze off. and not try and sell off a kidney before you watch part B.
Exactly.
So support my hustle, support my game. Another week, another video. See you next week.
It's been a wrap.
It's been a wrap.